Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We'll chant from 16. I'll reconnect again. Yes. Can you see this?
ते भावः नासतो विद्यते भावः नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि येन सर्वमिदं ततम् विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति अन्तवन्त इमे देहाः नित्यस्योक्ताः शरीरिणः अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारम् यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतः नायं हन्ति न हन्यते न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे.
We'll chant verse 16.
नासतो विद्यते भावः नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि.
Sorry, one more time.
नासतो विद्यते भावः नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
Is there any issue with your broadcasting? Do you find any problems? Nothing, right? What's this? Right. Any questions? The computer is acting weird today. I don't know why. Anyhow. Okay, verse 16. He says, Na asato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha. Sat asat. So you all understand what sat asat is? What is it?
Real and unreal.
Real and unreal, right? So what is he saying? Na asat vidyate bhavaha, meaning the unreal has no existence. The real never ceases to be. The truth about both these indeed has been seen by a tattvadarshinaha, the seers of the truth. Right? Tattvadarshinaha means, in essence, they see. Darshanam means just you see. Tattvadarshinaha, with something else they see. Right? See, Shakespeare says, death is a great equalizer. Do you know what it means?
The end is the same for everyone?
Death is the same equalizer. This comes in, I think, Hamlet. There's a very interesting episode in Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. If you get to read this Shakespeare, it is good, but it's a little difficult to read. But still, you will get it. So he says, Ophelia is Hamlet's love interest. So she dies, and then Hamlet doesn't know. She, I think, commits suicide or something. Nobody knows. In the play, we know. So there are two grave diggers who are digging the grave for the body to be buried. Though Hamlet comes, he doesn't know what has happened. He's just walking around. He comes to that grave diggers, and then he's amused by looking at the grave diggers singing and digging. You know. Then he looks at that freshly dug grave. He says, "Whose grave is this?" And the grave digger says, "It belongs to a woman." "Who is she?" He says, "She used to be a woman." Look at that simple things he says. She used to be a woman. Meaning what? She's not become a man now. The dead body is dead body. It has no man or woman personality. It's dead, right? Look at that. She used to be a woman, he says. And then Hamlet looks around and then he sees a skull there. There are a collection of skulls. He looks at that skull. Whose skull is this? The gravedigger says, "Hey, it's the lawyer's." And then Hamlet says, "Where are his clever arguments now?" No? Death wipes out intelligence, status, influence. And then he picks up another skull. He says, whose skull is this? He says, the courtiers, like politicians. Someone who sucked up all the powerful people. So, sucked up to all the powerful people. Courtier has to suck up to the major politicians right, to go up the ladder. So, flattery didn't save him from death either. And then whose skull is this? He says, the jesters, my lord, the jesters. And then Hamlet says, oh, he used to make me laugh. Right? Now his mouth that once told jokes is just hollow inside. The skull has no tongue in it, right? He says, go tell the woman she paints her face with makeup. This is how she'll end up too. Beauty, charm, and youth all rot away. Even Alexander the Great turned into dust, and that might have been used to plug the holes in a wall. The dust might have been used to make a mortar and plug a hole in the wall. This is how Shakespeare talks about death. So when we talk about, if you translate this exactly, he says that which doesn't exist equals unreal, right? That which doesn't exist unreal. It has no existence. See, look at the formulation. The formation is important here. The na asato vidyate bhava. Double negatives are used again, right? That which does not exist has no existence. That which exists cannot not exist. This is a literal translation, right? That which exists cannot not exist. That which does not exist has no existence. Why the roundabout? Anybody? Way of explaining? He could have just said, what is unreal doesn't exist, what is real exists. Khatam. Why the roundabout? I've told you this. Why he goes on roundabout makes you think. Whenever there is double negatives used, you start thinking. So it forces you to go inside the verse. नहीं तो आप surface में read करके निकल जाएंगे. इसलिए asking you, he is like forcing you to think. So anything which is unreal changes, may exist now and not later. So for example, if you take a dream which exists when you're dreaming, did not exist before, will not exist later. You may be hallucinating. Something that you're hallucinating exists now, doesn't exist before or later. So anything which has a temporary existence cannot be called real. It is unreal. Now, how do you define real? So for example, if you take this mouse, right? Is this mouse real? Difficult, right? So you have to analyze that mouse. What is the mouse made up of? Atoms. What is the atom made up of? Protons, neutrons, electrons. So protons, neutrons, again, they are made of something. Electrons is just mass of energy. What is energy made up of? How do you define energy? So if you keep going inside the nature itself, the physical nature, you come to a point where you understand that what you look at right now does not exist. Because what is energy? Energy is pure potential. Potential to do work. What does it mean? What is it? Is it like some waves? Don't know. What is it? So anywhere if you analyze, right, you will come to a state where you understand that what you see is in a temporary state. So it's just what they say, nama rupa, name and form. You can also explain it as whatever has a cause which becomes an effect is mithya, meaning whatever is a product of something, the product is not real because what made the product is real. For example, if you take a pot, is pot real?
It's the product.
Huh?
It is the product.
So is pot real then?
Not real.
So pot is kind of real but unreal because pot is a form that can be broken and what remains is
Mud.
mud. So what creates the pot is the mud. So when you talk about unreal, he says here, no, the unreal has no existence. That existence is based on something real. The real never ceases to be. So you can make multiple pots of the same mud and the pots can be broken, but the mud remains. So if I cry over a broken pot, in one sense, the frustration is real. But in another sense, it is sheer madness. What am I crying over? Oh, I'm crying over the pot not being there. Mud is there. What is the pot made of? Mud. Mud is not gone anywhere. Then why are you crying? Anything unreal deserves no consideration from you.
Then is the mud real?
Mud is real, no? In the pot and mud example. So now if you come to the universe itself, that you have to analyze now. When you see anything around you, everything is name and form. What is anything made of? You go deeper, deeper, deeper. Then you hit a point where, okay, there is something out of which things are happening. So if you say this mouse is broken, the atoms are there, no? So why am I crying over the broken mouse? Does it make sense? In a sense, it makes sense, but it doesn't really make sense. Is being upset over a broken pot valid? It's the question now. I'm not extrapolating to what Arjuna is example. We must first understand with things that doesn't matter to us. Tattva-darshana means what? In essence, he understands, he sees. Darshana means he sees, he actually sees that. The truth about both these indeed has been seen by the seers of truth. Verse 17.
येन सर्वमिदं
Sorry.
ततम् अविनाशितु तद्विद्धि येन सर्वमिदं ततम् विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति अविनाशितु तद्विद्धि येन सर्वमिदं ततम् विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति
Know indeed that is capital T, that to be indestructible, by which all this is pervaded. None can cause the destruction of this imperishable. So know that in all the ornaments, like a necklace or a ring or a belt, what is pervaded? Gold.
Gold.
You can destroy the ornaments, melt it, break it, whatever you want. But what remains is the gold. See, all these verses now, these are not to be explained, if I'm very honest with you. These are to be contemplated. Because he is giving different ways of looking at what Arjuna is unable to see, and then because of that blind spot, he is not able to function. Now, imagine if you blow up the entire universe, what would remain? These are some things that you must ponder on, Like, what would remain? Even, let's say, space is also gone. What remains?
Mud.
Huh?
All ash and mud and all that.
Everything is gone. Ash, mud, everything is gone. Matter is gone. Matter itself is gone.
But the space will be there, no? Even all the matter is gone, but the space will be there.
Right? Where, in which place, space is also gone. Space is also gone in some place. Which space? Which place?
Are you referring to Pralaya, where everything merges with the entire creation?
No. In our own experience, space is also gone.
In deep sleep?
Yes. In deep sleep, space is also gone, no? In waking and dream, space is there. Time, space, causation. So causation is pakka in waking state. Causation is kind of flimsy in dream state. Time is pakka, every second counts here. Time is kind of flimsy in dream state. Space is also there. Deep sleep, time, space, causation, all three are gone. What exists? In deep sleep, what exists then? In dream, if you destroy everything in the dream, what exists?
Is it the Atman, which is indestructible?
What exists? No.
The dreamer.
The mind.
The mind exists. The waker's mind exists. The waker's mind projects the dream and the dream world. If you destroy everything, waker's mind exists. In deep sleep, what exists? In deep sleep,
There's nothing. Nothing exists.
now, if nothing exists in deep sleep, this is the problem. If nothing exists, you and I will never account for deep sleep. You understand? Are you sure you go to deep sleep? Yes. You know you went to the deep sleep. How? If nothing exists, that should be blank to you. You wouldn't even register that deep sleep happened, right? If nothing exists there, mind also doesn't exist, right? If nothing exists, how would you know it happened? You're not there, right? Nothing is there. How did you know it happened? Consciousness exists. The awareness of nothingness existed. In waker and deep dream, awareness of something exists. In deep sleep, awareness of nothing exists. I asked this question to Swamiji, sir, what are you saying? This was my course time, I remember. Swamiji, how can you say I am aware of nothing? Can anybody tell? See, you are aware of something now. How can you be aware of nothing? What is there to be aware of?
If I am the awareness, then what do I need to be aware of?
So deep sleep means awareness of nothing. How am I able to be aware of nothing? How can I perceive nothingness? When there's nothing, what am I perceiving? Then how
Like
can I make a statement?
you said the consciousness is there, so then it's that what is
So how can consciousness perceive something which doesn't exist?
consciousness is not some existence. It is like something, it is.
You understand my question? How can I understand nothingness? See, if there was nothing in deep sleep, how did I know that deep sleep happened?
Because I'm the witness to it,
Witness to what?
to the conscious, to all the three stages.
To waker dream nikala. I'm witness to what in deep sleep?
I'm witness to the consciousness in the dream state, in the deep
Consciousness
sleep.
is witness. Consciousness is witness to what?
Nothing.
How? You are right.
Must be a state where there is nothing.
See, the way Swamiji explained to me was, he says he picks up a pen. What do you see? What is there? He says. Says Swamiji, pen is there. Right? Then he says, what is there in between this pen and you? I said nothing. How do you know? How did you say that?
Because you can see it. There's nothing.
So I am by consciousness means sheer awareness. The awareness of when awareness alights on anything, it is aware of something. When awareness alights on nothing, it is aware of nothing. Because the ability of consciousness is to be aware. It's aware of light. It's aware of no light. Know indeed that to be indestructible, by which all this is pervaded. None can cause the destruction of the imperishable. See, I can't explain more than this. See, first of all, we are right now in a current state of mind which are peaceful and all. We are unable to understand this properly. I mean, it takes time to understand. Why is Krishna talking about this to Arjuna? Already that man is distraught. He doesn't know what is happening. He's already emotionally overwhelmed. To talk about this to Arjuna, does it make any sense? Until verse 53, Krishna talks about highest philosophy. And then in verse 53, Arjuna asks, so what is the nature of a self-realized soul? I'll come to that when we talk about this. I'll mention that. What is nature of self-realized soul? By that question, what do you infer about Arjuna? See, Krishna explains everything now. The state of self-realization, everything. Self-realized soul, he explains. Arjuna asks a question, what is the nature of a self-realized soul? By that question, what do you infer?
That in spite of him being confused, still he could understand what he was talking about, the indestructible soul also.
Is that what you conclude? I have a different opinion about that. What is the present state he is in right now?
He wants to run away from the field.
So what is the correct answer? What is the correct question he should ask?
That okay, now he should say, okay, I'll fight. But he is
Question.
but
What is the
he
correct?
now reasons out that way.
What should be the right question to Krishna? Tell me how I should fight. Not what is the nature of a self-realized soul. Then Krishna understands this state. Then he talks about Sthita Prajna. He talks about the nature of self-realized soul. Full on he'll give. And then in chapter 3, Arjuna comes to his senses. Krishna, you are confusing me. Sometimes you say this, sometimes you say, tell me what I must do. Then the actual Bhagavad Gita starts with reference to Arjuna. So previous verse it says, the unreal has no existence, the real never ceases to be. Right? Real is, it will always be there. The truth about this indeed is a seer of truth. Who knows this is seer of truth? Know indeed that to be indestructible, that real is indestructible, by which everything is pervaded, that cannot be destroyed. This is the two verses. Verse 18.
अन्तवन्त इमे देहाः नित्यस्योक्ताः शरीरिणः अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत अन्तवन्त इमे देहाः नित्यस्योक्ताः शरीरिणः अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत.
These bodies of embodied. So, bodies of embodied, which is eternal. What is eternal? Not the bodies. The embodied, which is eternal, indestructible, immeasurable, are said to have an end. What is said to have an end? Not the embodied, but the bodies. Therefore, fight over it. So, this is bodies is in plural, embodied is in singular. Ornaments are different, gold is singular. Bodies have an end, embodied has no end. Embodied means something that किसी को धारण करने वाला, जो धारण किया है वो has an end, जो धारण कर रहा है he doesn't, that's embodied, he doesn't have an end. So
You mean like the physical body and the consciousness?
correct. So embodied and body. So now interesting part is bodies and embodied. That is the interesting part here. Plural and singular. So bodies means all the class members and including the teacher are bodies. There is one embodied here. Just like in your dream, you see different people, you interact with different people, you pet a dog, you shoe a cat, you ride a horse, you go to a building. These are all different embodies. Different bodies. But who is the embodied? The waker's mind. One entity is projecting multiple things. Similarly, in the waking world, multiple things are there. But there is one embodied in that. So he's saying these bodies of the embodied, which is eternal, indestructible, immeasurable, are said to have an end. The bodies have an end because body is in kala, in time. Anything which is subject to time will perish. Brahman, consciousness is kala atita, beyond time. So when the ornaments end, don't cry over that. Gold exists, so fight. The sun reflects on different mirrors. One is a colored mirror, one is a broken mirror, one is a smooth mirror, one is a jagged mirror, one is, I don't know, coarse, dusty mirror, could be anything. But the sun reflection reflects differently. But the sun is not bound by the mirror. Though every mirror is reflecting its own aura in the sense, its own radiance to a certain extent, it doesn't mean these are different suns. The reflection is somewhere else coming from. The sun is coming from somewhere else. But every mirror will say, I am this, I am this, I am this. When the mirror breaks, the sun is not broken. That's what he's saying. Are, why are you crying over the mirror breaking up? Sun is intact, full of radiance. 300 million times bigger than the earth. Imagine how many times bigger than the mirror. So what are you worried about? The issue is we are crying over the mirror because we do not understand that the mirror is a reflection. The mirror makes sense only when the sun is reflected. The mirror by itself is just mirror. Unless the sun is reflected, it has no individuality in it. Right? It's just a dead thing. The sun in the mirror gives life to the mirror. Or else mirror is just stool. It's like matter. It's a dead thing. So your body, mind, and intellect are just dead things without the consciousness reflecting in that. And then so many things happen in the body, mind, intellect. The body goes through so many issues, the mind goes through so many problems, the intellect has so many ups and downs. All these things are happening for the mirror. And it all makes sense only when the sun is reflected. All that is happening to so-called us only makes sense when there is consciousness in it. And the consciousness is not in me, it is a reflection of everything. The mirror is in the, not mirror. The BMI is in the consciousness. Consciousness is all pervading. So you are consciousness. It is what he's trying to say. You are eternal. You never had a start. You never will end. You are indestructible. It cannot be broken. You cannot be measured. You means I. So the BMI goes through all these issues. The hair cutting barber told me, sir, आपका बाल थोड़ा क्या हो थिन पतला हो रहा है सर, आप गंजे हो जाएंगे. मैंने बोला अरे सर टाइम तो आ गया है, अभी तक है बाल, वही तो है खुशी की बात. He is laughing and I'm laughing, both of us laughing. सर आपके ये बाल भी थोड़े वाइट हो गए इधर. मैंने बोला ये पूरा दाढ़ी पूरा वाइट हो गया है मेरा. यहाँ पता नहीं क्यों भगवान ने ऐसे रोक दिया, इसको भी करना था यू नो. Big deal, you know. Ah, see, I didn't have that thought at this thought at that time. Yeah, I told you about Swamiji, right? Swamiji had some dark patch in his hand. So I asked Swamiji, Swamiji, what happened? He said something hit, like last week. So Swamiji, is it hurting? I knew it was hurting because somebody told me. And he said, hey, body hurts, Ra. Body will die. Big deal. This is what he said. I will never forget this. Body hurts, Ra. Body will die. Big deal. It's not that it's not hurting. He is pressing in front of me. And then I saw him a little bit, you know, the face change. That means it was hurting. He didn't show it to me. He will never show weakness. He will never show. Because you will think, oh, Swamiji, and you get emotional. Hey, body will hurt, it will die. Big deal. These are the words he said. Because he is connected somewhere else. So the mirror is broken. You are crying. You and I are crying about the mirror. The mirror only makes sense when there is reflection in it. Or else, what is the value of that mirror? You have a mirror in your house. What is the value of the mirror? if you are not reflected in it? The only purpose of the mirror in your house is because you wanted the reflection. Because of you, the mirror exists there.
No, but if the body is in pain, does it mean that you have not to treat it?
You have to treat it. Swamiji treated that.
So you can't say say that it will go away, but one has to treat it. No?
You have to treat it, right? I mean, when did I say not treat it? But what I'm trying to say is the absolute disconnect he has.
Therefore, no
Worried over
issue.
the mirror. Mirror will have its issues. Try and fix the mirror. But no matter how much you fix the mirror, it will disintegrate and decay and die. You have 5 mirrors. Oh, this is my favorite mirror. That favorite mirror will also go. One of our class members' mother, this was a long time ago, she died of fire accident. Kitchen mein fire, and then instead of rolling on the floor, she ran, feeding more oxygen. And the class, he was my senior. Extraordinary objectivity, this fellow has. His mother died. Doesn't mean he doesn't have emotions. But thanks to the knowledge, he understands. Mirror will go. Tattva-darshina. The ladies have this night routine. Wrinkles nahi aana hai, so they'll put this thing, or put that thing, they'll put oil, I don't know what all they'll do. And hand cream and leg cream and all this. I'm not saying don't do it, please. Don't misunderstand. But what is the attitude behind it? No, 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 I cannot have wrinkles. You're worried about the mirror?
No,
Start.
I just want to slow them. And I know they will come. I just want to slow them.
I'm like,
It is
no.
vanity. It is body
That's
vanity.
what.
Of
See,
course.
I understand vanity. If it's valid, if it makes sense, you and I are worried about the mirror. What is the what is the value of the mirror without the sun in it? Come on. मिरर को अच्छा रखना है, मिरर को अच्छा, मिरर को साफ कर, अरे यार, रिफ्लेक्शन, इतना 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 कंसर्न अबाउट द बॉडी, ये नहीं, वो सप्लीमेंट लेना है. अरे इफ यू डोंट टेक यू विल डाई, आई नो. डोंट क्विकन योर हेस्ट टू योर डेथ, बट टेक केयर. बट विथ व्हाट इज द एटीट्यूड? I am this body. I am the mirror. I need to take care of the. No, you are not the mirror. You are the reflection. You are the sun. Therefore, fight. Oh, Bharata. ऐसे टीचर होना चाहिए, no? We have to have friends like this. I mean, what punya karma Arjuna must have done. I mean, he must have been like, you have to fall at his feet. To deserve a friend like this who's talking like that. It's like, can you believe? Can you can you believe a friend like that? We have to explain to our friends, अरे यार ऐसे मत कर, ऐसे मत कर. Can you, like, what kind, like, I can't understand. Arjuna is a great soul, Baba. Why? Because he deserves a friend like Krishna. Not because he is great. So here in this verse, there's only one thing. Bodies of the embodied. Sun, reflections of the sun. That's what you must understand. Any questions?
You need to think about all this a little bit more. It's a little, mm, little abstract, sir.
It is definitely.
Like the other verses so far have been reasonably straightforward.
Because it was all psychology and not philosophy.
Ah, okay.
Psychology you can understand. Philosophy takes. That's what Swamiji says, no? You will find in any university in the world 2000, like 200 MBA students, out of which you will find 100 science students. In that you will find 20 pure math students. In that you will find 3 or 4 philosophy students. Anywhere in the world you go. The subtler the subject, fewer the people. Anywhere. Okay, any other questions? If not, we will meet next Sunday. Om Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Next time, that play, if you can, do make it possible. I think it's in the Geo Center in Mumbai, February 12th. ठीक है. Hariom.
Thank you, sir. Hari Om.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.